when I was in Lexington, Kentucky for the 3-star, 4-star, 5-star,
5-star girl.
for the thing, I met Maria, who is a representative for Synchil.
Hi.
I didn't know much at all about Synchil until Maria and I happened to meet at a luncheon that I tried to get free food from. It's good food.
You did get free food from.
It's really good
I got
food.
lots of it.
And then since I met Maria, she gave me a couple samples of the Synchil. We've used it at our adult camp. We are here at an all thoroughbred show. We have already used it this morning because he was set off a little bit. You're very familiar with the thoroughbreds. You said you were an ex-jockey.
Yes.
I
was an exercise rider in Southern California and rode races down there.
And so you're going to tell us a little bit about Synchil because there's several questions that some of my riders and followers have.
Yep.
But what I want to really implement here is that she is a horse person, and so this was developed by horse people, correct?
It was developed by a racetrack veterinarian, actually. Yeah.
And you're based out of Arkansas?
Yes, our plant is in Arkansas. We make everything ourselves. Everything. I'll give you a little backstory on this. Everything was made by Dr. Edwin Simpson, who was a practicing veterinarian on the Southern California race circuit for over 30 years. So Santa Anita, Del Mar, that circuit. And he actually developed every single product in our line to address specific health issues that he was seeing in young thoroughbreds, because he had, thousands of horses in his practice that he didn't have a good solution for.
Because thoroughbreds are notorious for having health issues that we've already discussed aren't necessarily... They're just
more sensitive.
Yes.
They're more sensitive, and honestly, young racehorses on the racetrack, they're asked to do a lot. Some may argue they're asked to do too much at a young age, but they are faced with a ton of new things at a very young age. And so, Synchil specifically, he developed that for racehorses who get nervous in the paddock or wash out in the saddling area or maybe flip in the gate or something, but they still have to be really sharp. They still have to
starter gate, paddock,
yes, the saddling area.
Paddock.
Some horses, when they, like your horse today, when he heard the announcer, he knows it's go time.
Shaking,
he started shaking.
Yeah.
So young racehorses, it's the same thing. When they go through their routine and they're going to the paddock, they know that they're going to run that race. So their anxiety.
So we hit him with the tube of Synchil.
Yeah.
And he's in the stall chilling out, because our whole focus here today at this show is to prepare him for the RRP and to keep him below threshold.
Right. And the thing that I really love about the Synchil is they learn on it. So you're helping to develop those good experiences, and he's coming to a show where maybe, the Synchil helps him out and it lessens anxiety. So you can use that several times, and then he starts to learn, like, oh my gosh, I'm not surrounded by mountain lions. I'm not going to have to come out and run a race. I can come out and jump my jumps and have a nice time.
Piggybacking off of that, we were discussing the horse that we have here going to RRP, and that we're trying to keep him below threshold. I am a non-ace person. I've never aced a horse before in my life, but I work with a lot of fox hunters, and that seems to be like the thing. And I always say it feels like the date rape drug, right? Like you're coherent, but you can't process.
Right.
Whereas these drugs, you're coherent and you can process. It's just taking the edge off. It's just calming.
It's addressing the nerves and the anxiety.
Yeah.
Which, if you think about what we're asking horses to do, is very unnatural. We're taking them away from their herd. We are surrounding them by apex predators, which are human beings.
Right.
And it's
and the birds and the tractors and the announcers.
Right. Yes. Right. So it goes against everything in nature. And and they really are incredible for answering these questions that we ask them.
Yes.
But it only seems fair to, if you can give them something natural to help ease that anxiety and build their confidence a little bit and make everyone safer.
Yes.
It's a no-brainer.
So I have some that come off the trailer sweaty. Yep. And I said give half tube. And they did not come off the trailer sweaty. Obviously, in the summer, they're going to come off the trailer sweaty.
Right.
But there's other things we can do to help replenish that within it's not Synchil. It's
Synutra is the company.
Synutra is the company.
And Synchil is our leading product.
Okay. So also I want to really touch on, a lot of people argue about ulcers all the time, and a lot of people argue about anxiety.
Right.
There are high anxiety horses and people that look completely like almost stoned.
Yeah.
And to me, those are the ones that need the most attention. This horse will go completely blacked out. His owner is behind the camera for us right now, and she's like, he'll just get stoic and statuesque.
Right.
And that's what he's doing. So I'm like, oh, he's nervous.
Yeah.
and he doesn't display it in an erratic way like my Arabian's going to at try on here in a little while.
Right.
It's and that's the one that's going to be your ulcer prone horse.
Yeah.
That really does need just a little edge off because
Right.
he's just not processing well.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, horses just like us, we all know they're all a little bit different.
Right.
You know, some of them jump up and down and really tell you I don't feel well and might not have that much going on, and other ones,
Right.
you know, stand like this and are very stoic, and then you scope them and they've got like grade 4 ulcers.
Right.
So, you know,
Right.
yeah. So I think any performance horse that is living in a stall or exhibits any kind of ulcery behavior, it doesn't hurt to be on this product.
Now, Maria, correct me if I'm wrong, but I love a horse out all day long.
Yeah.
But if we're loading it up and taking it to a horse show, that now counts as it being in a stall. So how much prior should we start feeding the ulcer meds before a horse show?
This again is, it depends on the horse. I mean, this is one thing that we get asked all the time. You know, we see great results with these products. Yeah. So this is Gastromin, and this is the Gastromin XC. I'll go into that in a second, but a lot of people ask, okay, I fed this to my horse for a month. I saw a huge change. Now can I take him off it? Well, we recommend you have, as long as the stressor is there that may be causing the ulcery behavior, we recommend that they stay on it. So it's not a one fixed thing. You have to look at the reasons of why they're exhibiting that behavior. It could be, you know, their neighbor makes really ugly faces at them when they get fed, or
true.
it could be, you know, they don't like the location of their stall, or they want more turnout, or they want less turnout, or whatever. I mean, you guys know your horses better than anyone else, so that's something that you guys have to decide.
So I'm from the mindset of I would rather, again, like we're learning him for his next show. This show is only important to us from the aspect of we're making sure we understand how Leo handles things. So we've gone ahead and done the gastro, and we of course waited for him to tell us that he needed the Synchil paste, and she's going to go through several different pastes for us, though we don't have them all here because people love them. But yeah, so we've gone ahead and done it, and then we're going to feel him out, and then we'll back off if we need to.
Up to you. Yeah. He'll, I mean, you know the horse.
Right.
So,
and we're learning him because, again, he raced in January. It is May, and you've only owned him 3 months. Yeah. So we're getting to know him, and I'd rather not have to fix the ulcer issue. We would rather prevent it and go down the line that way.
Right. So, you know, when it comes to ulcers, you have several options. Obviously, the drug option is omeprazole. Omeprazole is a PPI, which means a proton pump inhibitor. So what it's doing, it's crazy expensive. What it's doing is it's stopping the acid production in the horse's stomach while they're on it. Now, if there's an ulcer there, it allows that ulcer to heal, and that's fine, and that's great. But if you're using it repetitively, which almost everyone is, it inhibits their ability to regulate their own acid production, and they can become dependent on it. It also does nothing to prevent ulcers in the future. So once you finish that cycle, what is preventing ulcers in the future? The other major problem that they're learning is that, you know, horses have acid in their stomach for a reason, and it's to absorb necessary nutrients from their food.
Absolutely.
So it's showing up hugely in studies now, later in bone density issues, ligament issues, and especially in, you know, young horses. They're developing. So Dr. Simpson developed these products because he didn't want to keep young racehorses living on omeprazole products. It's not the way to go. There's actually a class action lawsuit building in humans who are taking omeprazole, Prilosec, things like that, because it's showing up in bone density issues and things like that as we age, cancer, stuff like that. So anyway, these are the Gastromin.
Screen on this one. Perfect. The lighting should be badass right now. Perfect. I know, right?
So these are the Gastromin products, and this is a two-pronged approach. These are all made from herbs, and they're native. One of the herbs is native to parts of North Africa and Asia, and it's a super potent wound healer. So like if an elephant cuts their leg, they'll travel 50 miles to go and eat this plant because they know it's going to be the most effective thing to heal their wounds.
Cool.
So that specific ingredient makes contact with the ulcer, and then the other and heals that wound. The other main ingredient increases collagen production. So they start to build a strong lining to their stomach, making them less susceptible to ulcers in the future.
And this is a powder.
It's a powder. And then he made a stronger, more potent version, because sometimes horses get tiny abrasions in the lining of their stomach before they'll get a full-blown ulcer, and it's like road rash. It can be very painful, but it's you know, sometimes it's hard for those to even show up in a scope, and they're very difficult to heal. This is a finer powder and it's more concentrated, and it will actually heal those abrasions, make contact with those abrasions and
Love
heal
that.
it. So this is Sinistride, and we found that a lot of our customers, we listen to our customers. A lot of our products have been born out of requests from you. So a bunch of our customers came to us and said, look, we're feeding a hoof supplement, we're feeding Farrier's formula, and we're feeding a joint supplement, we're feeding Cosequin, and all this stuff is getting really expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And Dr. Simpson said, you know what? I can do better than that. So he looked at the ingredients of those things and he included everything in Sinistride. So this is a head to hoof, full musculoskeletal. Your Farrier will love you. You can actually watch the hoof grow out, and it's, you know, an all-in-one. It's more potent than if you were feeding all of those separately, and it's less expensive.
So I am a firm believer of less is more when it comes to supplements. Yep. Though choose your ingredients correctly. So I'm so excited to try this with our thoroughbreds as we're at a thoroughbred show, because nothing has a cracked foot faster.
Right. Well, thoroughbreds notoriously have bad feet. I mean, yeah.
Right.
And you pull their feet, you pull their shoes off on ground like this and think, oh, it'll be fine. It's like the beach. And all of a sudden they're going,
let me be clear, you thoroughbred people. We are fully supportive of the thoroughbred breed. Maria here is a jockey. We are all thoroughbred people. Yeah. We're at a thoroughbred show. So we're not saying your breed has bad feet. We're just saying you need to be aware of how to handle a thoroughbred's foot anatomy, stomach.
I talk about thoroughbreds like I talk about my mother. I can talk bad about them a little bit because I love them so much.
Yeah. For my lady riders out there, she handed this to me in Kentucky. I handed it to a rider. I'm not saying which rider. I had an adult camp a couple weeks ago. You said have a half of a gummy. Yeah. Because it does have, what does it have? Melatonin in it.
It has 5-HTP. It has less than 1 milligram of melatonin.
She did not go to sleep, but we were able to ride.
Awesome. It is a sleep gummy. We market it as a sleep gummy, but I have a lot of people that take it before they show.
Nothing wrong with that. Nope. The woman behind the camera does not need this today unless she's a stoic one, which we'll find out, and I'll throw one down her throat tomorrow if that's the case. But this is also provided by...
Actually, we formed a separate company for this. This is our sister company, Alexin, because things were getting a little weird with us selling horse supplements and people supplements, and so Alexin. we just decided to form a separate company. But honestly, all you horse people out there, it's basically the same as Synchil. And
can you take the Synchil?
That's why we made this. Did I not tell you the story? No. Oh my gosh, so many people were taking Synchil themselves. Joking. No, that was real.
Oh, that's on a video, but I thought you were joking.
No, a lady.
I thought it was like a Corona thing where everybody was using ivermectin.
No, this was real. A lady called our office. So we kept saying, oh my gosh, we have so many people taking Synchil. Like, we really should look into this. Maybe we should just start making people stuff. A lady called our office and said, I just want to tell you, I've been giving a little Synchil to my son every night, who was a toddler, by the way. And he's been sleeping through the night. And we're like, oh,
please don't.
And then she said, and we had a neighborhood slumber party, and I gave a little to all the children, and they all slept through the night. And so that's when we knew, okay, everybody stop. Okay. No more. So we worked with the Candy Goddess. She's actually in the Candy Hall of Fame. It's a real thing. I laughed. She did not laugh. It is really serious.
She did not laugh.
She did not laugh. I was like, yeah, Candy Hall of Fame. And she's like, that's right.
We support you.
Yes,
Go get it, girl.
Yes. And she's in there with like these old Hershey's guys and like Mars guys. Yes. She's the bomb. So she developed the flavor, so they taste awesome. They taste better than Synchil, and they're formulated for people. So if you take one of these while it's light outside, it will not affect you the same way as if you have low light. If you have low light, it will help you go to sleep. If you take it when you're receiving daylight or sunlight or light, it just takes the edge off. This is the Synchil Daily. It's essentially the same thing as a gel, only it's in a pelleted formula for horses that, need a little help with their life every day.
Need to adapt.
Need to adapt.
The boys.
Right. So exactly. So you can feed this daily, or you can feed it as needed. I take horses off the track and restart them, and I keep this in my feed room, and I just feed them a couple scoops on the days that I know I'm going to need it.
Okay.
So just a matter of preference, or you can feed it every day, and it's designed to have a residual effect.
How much time before your ride?
Well, if you're feeding it every day, you can just give it to them in their feed.
Okay.
If you're only using it on the day, it's the same, like around hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay.
I like 2 hours for the.
Okay, perfect.
And it's it has molasses and alfalfa in it, just a little bit of molasses, and
we
they'll
get a freak out about the sugar intake on that?
no, it's so we get asked this question all the time. The sugar intake is so low that it's not going to be a problem. But if you have any questions, ask your vet. So I forgot what I was just saying.
I'm sorry. I'm good at that.
Yeah,
We were doing a daily everything, and then we
Daily.
were talking about when to give it, and it has a little bit of molasses
It has
in it.
a little
so
bit
that
of
they'll
molasses
take
and
it.
alfalfa, so they'll eat it right out of your hand just like it's a treat.
Perfect.
It's really easy.
Love
And
that.
then this was actually born from customer requests. A lot of our customers were feeding the Gastromin along with the Synchil daily. So they kept asking, can't you guys just combine the two?
Combine it.
And Dr. Simpson said, you know what? We can. So, when it comes to ulcers and anxiety, the question is sort of what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Is the anxiety causing ulcers, or are the ulcers causing anxiety? So this one addresses both.
I could sit on that all day long.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
Gastromin combined with Synchil daily. So it's mood and behavioral support along with the healing and prevention of ulcers.
Love it.
So this is the regular OG Synchil. We found that a lot of people were giving multiple tubes. So we made a stronger version called Synchil AF. Advanced formula, you guys.
We used that at camp for the warm bloods that were climbing our wall, and it only took about 30 minutes, and he quit climbing our wall and settled down. Julie, who's behind the camera, was there. She's a test to it. The AF worked great.
Right. So people love the AF.
Well, it prevented colic that night.
Oh, that's amazing. I
mean,
he was that.
I
love it.
I haven't finished the video, but he was literally swaying and climbing the walls, and I was like, let's calm your ass down to prevent it getting worse and becoming colic.
I never get tired of hearing this. We're a company of horse people. We were started by a veterinarian, and this is honestly why we do what we do. Every single message we get from people that say, you helped my horse, this is it. This is why
I would rather have it on hand and not need it than need it and not have it on hand at 10:30 p.m. at night when he was climbing the wall, sweating, just anxious. Yeah, bless
poor
him.
Guy. So we made the Synchil AF. That has L-theanine in it. Now, there have been some rumblings of L-theanine maybe is going to be a banned substance or something like that, even though it's a plant-based amino acid, and there's no testing for L-theanine anywhere in horse or human sports in any jurisdiction in the world. So
fun.
Some people are uncomfortable using L-theanine because of that. Fine. We made Synchil Pure, which is L-theanine free, but just as potent.
Got it.
That's
so
another.
If you're all questioning legality, you get the Synchil Pure.
Yes, you get the Synchil Pure. Now, some people have a preference for tryptophan-based supplements. So we made Tri-Chill. So we have the Tri-Chill, which is tryptophan-based. It's also as strong as the Synchil AF and the Synchil Pure.
But it'll take them to a different level.
Yeah, and different horses respond differently. Like I have some Arabian people who swear by the Tri-Chill.
Oh yeah, I'm going there next.
They love that for their Arabians, and they respond better to that than they do like the Synchil AF. So really, it's just a matter of preference for you and your horse to find the support that you need. You can give multiple tubes of any of them in a day. They're naturally occurring amino acids, so they're already present in the horse's body. They're never going to test because of that reason. And you can't overdose on it. They've done extensive studies on.
I mean, don't go try.
Yeah, don't
Please
go try.
Don't do that.
Don't go try. But I'm saying, if you need more support, you show in the morning, and you need more support in the afternoon, or you feel like your horse needs a little more, go ahead and do it. You're not going to hurt him.
Like we said on some of the prior videos, we have one in the barn right now. This is his first overnight big show. He did do the camp, but he did the camp with some of his barn mates. So, and there was no announcer at camp. Didn't have that. And he's gotten a little bit like, oh my God, we're going to race, because he's only 4 months off the track. So we gave him one of these this morning. If we bring him out when I go to braid him and he needs another one before I pop a rider on, then we're going to do that. But I'd rather that happen than it just be an entire waste of a day and a ride and a show of just stress and anxiety for both him and his rider. It's just not worth it for either one of them.
Right.
And training.
And you want to build up those good experiences.
100%,
That's the whole point.
Yeah, there's no law saying you're not as good as if we have taken him down a little bit. I promise you, half y'all are medicated anyway.
We medicate ourselves.
No, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you so much, Maria. I really appreciate you coming out and talking to us. Any other questions? Where do we go?
Find us if you're looking at us on TikTok. Find us on TikTok. Shoot us the questions. Any social media.
Perfect.
We have a contact us on our page. page, and it's myself and some of my colleagues in the office answering all your questions. So you're getting answers from horse people.
Let them know that Mindset Equestrian sent you.
Yes.
You're a Mindset Equestrian. That's what you're
Yes.
doing. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks.